All right, we're on day 2 of order of operations. Yesterday we talked about how in math we have to have an order for everything to go down the right way. And so I introduced this word PEMDAS. Some people know it as please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So our P in PEMDAS, or please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, that little mnemonic device to be able to remember PEMDAS the right way. Our P stands for parentheses. Our E stands for exponents. Our M and our D are a package deal that's multiplying and dividing. And then our A stands for addition, and S stands for subtraction. These are a package deal as well. So, as we go through our please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, or PEMDAS, as we like to call it, this is an order of operations for us to be able to use when we are doing math. If we do not use this order of operation, we are going to get the incorrect answer. So today we're going to use this PEMDAS to find the correct answer for some different problems. Here's our first one coming up here. We have 25 plus 18 divided by 6 minus 1. According to PEMDAS, we look for all of our parentheses first, but I'm not quite sure I see any parentheses, so we go ahead and we move on to our E. Our E stands for exponents, but I don't know if I see any exponents there either. An exponent, I would know it if it had a little number up top here, but we don't have any of those. So we're going to go on and we're going to look for multiplication and division. We have to do those left to right. If we do not do them left to right, then our answer is not going to work. So we're going to look here. I'm looking for any sort of multiplication and division. Look, I see it right there. So that's going to be our next operation that we use. We're going to go ahead and we're going to divide 18 divided by 6. How many groups of 6 are in 18? There are 3 groups of 6 in 18. I did not touch the plus. I did not touch the 25. I did not touch the 1. Remember, this is the problem I did. I cannot carry down that 6 because I already used it in this problem. I cannot carry down that 18. I have already used it in the problem. So I need to continue from there. Next, according to our PEMDAS rules, we have finished with multiplication and division. We're going to move on to addition and subtraction. So we're looking at our new problem here. We're going to move from left to right, and we're going to start with addition just because it comes first. 25 plus 3. That's right, we have 28. And then we need to do the minus 1 to get our final answer. 28 minus 1. We have 27 as our final answer here. Let's try another one. Let's do something a little more challenging. We have 3 plus 4 times 3 plus 5. Oh, but they have helped us out. They have put these little things in there. Our parentheses. We know that with our little saying of please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, or PEMDAS, that I always start with parentheses first. So I'm going to start with my 3 plus 4, and I'm going to get 7. Oh, I bet you thought it was 12. It's not, because it's addition. I did not touch this. But I'm going to go ahead and do the math here because that's my next step. 3 plus 5 is 8. And then all I'm left with is my multiplication. I just did this, scooted on down. I had not touched this time sign, so it just floats on down. But I did add my 3 plus my 5. to get 8. And now I have a final question that I have to answer. 7 times 8 is... I hope you said 56. I really like this question because it's kind of a challenging question. Yeah, we have to work a little harder, but we have to engage our brain a little more, and we might have to try more than one answer. So we're going to remember our PEMDAS, or please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. And this problem has an equal sign in it. It says, hey, we are going to need to equal 2. We can't just say, oh, okay, I'll go ahead and answer it the way that it's written. We have to get it to answer of 2. They want us to put some parentheses in there. The directions specifically state, put some parentheses in here, make some magic, make this happen. Well, I always like to start, if I never put any parentheses in here, what would I get? Okay, so we're going to start with that. Using my, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, I'm going to start with my multiplication here. I have to start with that. The only other math operations I have are minus and plus. So I'm going to start with that. That means that I'm only touching that 4 times that 2. And 4 times 2 is 8. I have not touched the 30. I have not touched the minus sign, the plus sign, or the 5. So I'm going to keep going. Remember, our goal is to get 2 as the outcome. So we're going to keep going here, and our minus comes first. So we're going to go 30, take away 8. It's okay for us to go over to the side here and write 30, take away 8. Because 0, take away 8, we can't do. We have to borrow. If we know it in our head, awesome. If we don't, it's okay to go ahead and write it down. We should be writing things down any way possible. Good mathers find a way. So we have an answer 22. We have not touched that 5 at all, or that plus sign. So now we have to find a final answer here. Well, 22 plus 5, I am at 27. My question, did I get to 2 like I was supposed to get to? No. So we have to go back to the start. We have to begin again because something is wrong with that. We cannot just go ahead and answer it the way that it's written. We have to kind of start at the beginning because we want to get 2, and our directions say we can put in some parentheses wherever we want. So we have to get to that 2. Let's try again. Where should we put some parentheses in? Well, why not start at the beginning? Let's put some parentheses in here first. So if we did that, according to our PEMDAS, we have to do 30, take away 4. So in our brains, if we know how to go ahead and do 30, take away 4, or if we need to write it out, either way is good to go. We go ahead and do the math. I hope that you're doing the math on your notebook, not just waiting for me to give you an answer. That's not very fair. We should always be thinking about math when we're watching these videos. So we have 30, take away 4 is 26. I did not touch the plus sign, or the 2, or the 5, or the multiplication sign. I don't know if I said that. Alright, so we're going to keep going here. Our next step, because those were our parentheses, now we're going to multiply 26 times 2. Ooh-wee, we're going to need some space over here. So, let's go ahead and erase this. Let's get some space. 26 times 2. I hope that you're yelling at me right now. Here's why. Because if I want to get an answer choice of 2, and right now I have a multiplying and an adding are the only math I have left, then your brain should go, wait a minute, there is no possible way we can get 2. Just stop while you're ahead. You don't have to do the work, Mrs. Leesenby. Okay, I will go ahead and stop. I will erase those parentheses. I will erase all my work, and we will start at the beginning again. Sometimes math takes a little perseverance. We have to keep going. So remember, we want to get to 2. Well, we started with some parentheses around 30 and 4. And at the beginning, we had already done this first. So let's try putting our parentheses here. Remember at the beginning, we did the 4 times 2 first. So we're going to try a parentheses there. Let's see how this works out. Well, we got to start with our 5 plus 2. And I did not touch a multiplication sign. I did not touch a 4. I did not touch a subtraction sign. And I did not touch that 30. Remember, we're trying to get to 2 just by putting some parentheses in. So now I have 4 times 7 is my next step because I have to do my multiplication. 4 times 7. Yep, 28. And I did not touch these, so they come on down to my next line. And now I have to figure out if I've been successful. So I do my math out to the side, or in my head I could count up from 28 to 30 to get that. Oh, I have a 0 take away 8. Can't do that. Gotta borrow. And look, we were successful. So our parentheses needed to be around the 2 and the 5. That's the best way, or that's the only way, to get 2 as a final answer here. If our book asks us to put parentheses in like this, we sometimes have to do some guess and check. We cannot just say, oh, yeah, I'm going to put them here and it'll work. We have to do some guess and check. Okay, I want to see some of the work that you can do. Make sure that you write the letters P-E-M-A-D, P-E-M-D-A-S at every problem on your class kick page, because I want to make sure that you're remembering the order of everything. I'm going to do a secret word, but I'm going to give you just a letter for that secret word. The first letter today is T. You have to remember what letters you get each day to get the secret word. On Thursday, that will be the last day that we have a secret word, or I'm sorry, a secret letter.